Alright, so this S20FE has probably been my most used phone, and that too as a daily driver in the past 6 months or so. And as I said earlier, it was surprisingly good value for money back in 2021 when I got it. But after a lot of software updates and fixes, does it still offer value at this price point? And more importantly, should you even consider buying one in 2022? So in this video, I'll be sharing my long-term experience with the Samsung S20FE 5G. And before we get into that, make sure to tap on that subscribe button. And if you wish to watch this video in Hindi language, here is a card to the Bit Tech Hindi channel. Now before I talk about what I liked about this phone, let me start off with what I did not like. First of all, the build quality has been meh so far, and I'm not too happy with the plastic bag, as it has some marks even after taking care of it and using it with a case. And these are quite permanent and make it look really bad, which is not the case if I compare it with a glass backed phone like the Oneplus 8T, and yes, it hasn't aged that well to be honest. Also at this price, most of the brands offer a glass back now, and it does look quite plain. Though the IP rating has been a blessing, and I've accidentally dropped a glass of water on it twice, which it was able to survive thanks to the IP68 rating. Secondly, the slow charging and the adapter that Samsung gives. It's one thing to give a slow charger in the box, and it's even more of a pain if the device charges at 25 watts max, and that feels really slow because I've used devices with 65 watts of charging, and that feels like a breeze. I even purchased a Samsung adapter which charges at 25 watts max, and I'll drop a link to that in the description area. Well, is it worth it? So it depends on you, as I observed that the max charging speed comes when the Wi-Fi and display both are off, and it will save you around 20 minutes of time as compared to a 15 watt charger overall. Yes, it is still slow, but eases some pain for me. Next minor issue would be the slower fingerprint scanner, and though it works every time, it is indeed a bit slow, but you do get the fast face unlock as well. Another thing that bugs me is the minor bloatware in oneui, which again should not be there on a Samsung flagship especially. Other than that, if you're buying this in 2022, then you might end up only with one major update, as this phone was launched in 2020 globally, and Samsung promised 3 major updates. So that will basically end with Android 13, but then Samsung relaunched this phone in 2022. So I don't know, we'll have to see what they do about it, but for now it is safe to assume that only one major update is left, very less at this price point actually. Coming to the good things, and yeah, there is still quite a bit to like here. First of all, the display has been really good to look at, and even the max brightness is quite good. Coming to the good things, and yeah, there is still quite a bit to like here. First of all, the display has been really good to look at, and even the brightness is quite good with this panel. Plus, the 120Hz refresh rate has kept things smooth for the most part, even after oneui 4 update. It still doesn't support HDR in Netflix, which is a bummer, but other than that, it is still a good thing. Also, the stereo speakers are quite loud and good for media consumption, and there is decent stereo separation as well. The battery life on this device has been good till now, though I have felt that the idle drain with the Wi-Fi is a little on the higher side, especially with the oneui 4.1. Though it still gives around 6 to 7 hours of screen on time easily, which is something I appreciate in my day-to-day usage. But I really wish Samsung to use better charging speed with their latest phones, as that really hurts. About the camera part now, and I've used this camera on quite a lot of my trips and every day in the past few months, and I was never disappointed with the results I got from it. And you can see it in the image samples. The colors are natural, the dynamic range is quite good, and the images look very well balanced, which is something I loved. And I could use this device as my go-to without even thinking twice. The camera modes given here are quite sufficient, and Samsung even gives features like object removal in the gallery app, which only adds to the list of good things. Though even now the competition has caught up, and you can get some good camera phones in the 20-30k price segment, but overall this has been quite pleasing, and it is still a good package for around 30k or less maybe, but not more than that I would say. Talking about the performance and gaming, and in this part it does fairly well, though Samsung has limited the performance in normal mode. The software in general isn't bad at all, and I've gotten used to the UI and features it has to offer. It feels quite polished, and there aren't any major bugs in UI as well. Along with that, the integration of Samsung devices is quite polished, and it works seamlessly with my watch and buds. Also, the update situation has been quite good, and Samsung devices usually get updates on time. sometimes even before the Pixel devices, so you get the idea. Overall, the UI is fine, and if you are not a stock Android fan, you will like it. The gaming performance, however, has been decent, and if you tend to play small matches and any game for small intervals, in general, you won't notice any issues with it at all. But for those extreme gamers and those who play longer sessions, should not keep this device as their top priority, as I said previously too. The call quality has also been excellent, and there is voice over Wi-Fi support as well for better call quality, and that works fine too. You can either use 2 SIMs or an SD card, which is again missing on most phones at this price point. And you also get inbuilt call recording as well, which is very important to many people. Lastly, the haptic feedback is also quite nice, but not flagshipy level to be honest. So other than the things that I mentioned, I don't find this device bad at all. And if you are considering this device in 2022, well, it is still a good phone, but at a price point of around 28 to 30,000 or even lesser, as the new devices in market have caught up. And I would totally recommend this device strictly at that price segment. And if you're wanting to buy a Samsung device specifically, this does offer a good value. Yes, it will last a couple of years at least, and the bootloader can be unlocked, so you are safe in that part as well. So basically, if your use case matches this, then definitely keep an eye on the price. And that would be all for now. So if you do end up liking this video, make sure you press that like button and tap on that subscribe button for more videos like this one in future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.